Back in December 5th, 2005, I was saved at Mount Morton Church of God. It's been the most incredible thing of my life. It was a good night at the church, good service, and God was just calling me to come up and speak with Him and to be saved for all the sins that I've committed in my life.
Like any other typical teenager, I kind of wandered away from God. You know, I was a typical college kid, partying and really just living life up. Jennifer and I moved away to Texas, and we really didn't have anyone, so we were obviously looking to each other as far as just living life. We visited a few churches when we were there, and sometime after school, moved to Long Island, was working there, and I think the pivotal point for me is I had a discussion with a guy, and we were talking about God and if we believed in God, and my answer was no. I can reflect back today to that decision, that answer that I gave. I think right then and there, that's immediately when God, started to pursue me. He really wanted to get my attention. Joel Osteen on television, I really started to watch him, and it started as just me observing, what he was teaching. Then I started taking notes, and then it came to a point where every word that he was saying, I was pretty much writing down. It was like something so new to me. And he was speaking October 22nd, 2004. He was speaking at Madison Square Garden, because I realized how much I was rejecting God and how He was there for me all the time. And I just had to say, okay, God, and just to the deepest level of my soul, I seriously, I just realized, God, you're there for me, and you love me, and I made the choice that night that He was mine and I was His, and from that day forward, man, that was 6 years ago, and it's just an amazing life change for me.
So I went to Camp Courtney, and we had the services every night, and the speaker was Dave's brother, and he reached out and said you have to stay going straight towards Him, and if you don't, then you won't go to heaven where you're supposed to be. And so he asked if you did, if you felt that, so you had to go up there and he prayed for you. And it just felt like he was telling me what to do.
And you accepted Christ?
My personal experience, I was at work of all places, and on January 17th, 1991, and I decided it was time to accept Jesus Christ as my Lord. The Spirit had been working on me, so I did. I uttered the words. I asked Jesus to forgive me, to come into my heart, to live with me, to lead me and guide me, and He did. And I'll never forget, I took a sticky note. My wife worked at the same company, and I wrote it out that I had accepted Jesus that morning, and I took it to her office. She wasn't at work yet, and I put it on her desk. And I'll never forget when I got that phone call from her, how proud she was, because I had been actually in church for quite a while and never had experienced this yet. But salvation for me was awesome. It came by faith in God. I received it by faith, and at that point, my whole life began to change. Everything. Things at work, things with my wife, things with my children, definitely things at church. I just saw things begin to change immediately, and there were things for the better. And they're still changing today. I'm not perfect. Salvation, He forgave me of all my sins, but we still got to work out our salvation each day in our life. And but to me, it's the number one thing, the best thing that we can do is to accept Jesus, to believe it by faith, and begin to walk it out every remaining day of our life.